It's the lead play in our offense.
Tell the tackle to take the defensive end if he's over him. If he's not, to drive down on the first man to his inside. Fullback, we tell him to take the first man outside the offensive tackle.
No one shows. He goes right by this and steals inside.
If the YN has the linebacker taken out, he cuts inside. If the YN has the linebacker in, he comes all the way around. If you look at this play, what we're trying to get is a seal here and a seal here and try to run this play in the alley.
Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome into Packers Total Access. My name is Clayton. You can check us out on packernet.com. You can find me on Twitter at Packers_access. Just wanted to kind of go live here this afternoon. It's Sunday, and was just going through some of the game tape over the Bengals game and thought, you know what? Why don't we get on here? Some of the stuff I was finding, it was a lot of fun. So I thought, why not hop on here live on Twitter and YouTube and just kind of share it with you guys. So that's what we're going to do. Before we get started, though, I do want to thank everyone who's hopping in the chat already. Appreciate you guys joining in. I want to say thank you to everyone who's been subbing the channel, man. You guys are awesome. We're closing in now on, I believe it's 900 subs. I haven't looked at it in a little while, but we're closing in on that 1,000 sub goal. So thanks to everyone who took the time to sub to the channel. We really appreciate it. Also, thank you for the feedback. Been getting a ton of feedback about both Packers Total Access Live that we have, every evening, 6 Central, 7 Eastern, as well as some of these Chalk Talk episodes where we'll kind of break down some game tape. And the feedback on the game tape has been they love the content. Everyone loves the content, but it's just a little lower quality as far as visually. That's something we're working on, okay? And just to be completely upfront, we went ahead and ordered a new system. So when I started this podcast, I didn't know how long it would go. I didn't know how long it would last. I didn't know how deep I would want to take the the detail of the show. But we see the demand there now, so we're going to try to supply for that demand. Basically, just dropped. I don't want to say the amount, but we've got some good equipment on the way. If this doesn't fix the problem, there's something wrong. All right. So I just want to thank everybody for giving the feedback. It was positive feedback, but they also were letting me know, hey, look, here's what's glitching on the stream, that type of thing. And I'm just a knucklehead that don't know much about technology. So I really appreciate getting the feedback for that. So again, we'll have that new equipment, I think, on Wednesday. Hopefully we'll be live Thursday with that new setup, and we'll see how it goes. It'll all be a work in progress for sure. So again, thanks to everyone who subbed. If you haven't subbed yet, go ahead and hit that subscribe button on YouTube. We really, really appreciate it. Let's check the chat before we go to the tape here. We got Knucklehead Paul in the chat. What's up, man? Thanks for dropping by. Red Mo said, holy crap, I actually caught one at the very beginning. Nice. That's good news, right, Mo? Appreciate you dropping through, man. All right, let's do it. We're going to try to keep this quick. The goal is 30 minutes. I doubt it'll happen. We're going to give it our best shot, all right? So let's go ahead and share the screen. This is normally where I ask my colleagues to confirm that you can see the screen, but obviously they're not here, so we're going to roll solo. All right, so this came from the Bengals game, okay? And I'm going to try to play it at 50% so we can slow everything down and explain one, maybe 2 times through, okay? This is from the Bengals preseason game, and I tried to key in on the Jordan Love snaps, although I think there's 1 or 2 snaps with Sean Clifford at quarterback as well, because I wanted to highlight Jayden Reed a little bit more too. I thought Jayden Reed really popped. I think we've got a starting wide receiver there. I'm excited to see how he develops as we get into the regular season. I feel like if you compared him to Christian Watson and Romeo Doubs at this point during training camp last year, I think Jayden Reed is a step ahead of him. I really do. I think we got something special there. So let's start here in the first quarter. It's 13:07 left, a 2nd and 7 play. Obviously, it's scoreless. We come out, and this, like I said, this is our starting offense, okay? Just to kind of give you an idea, we typically came out in 11 personnel when Jordan Love was at the helm. We took Aaron Jones out fairly quick. A.J. Dillon's in on this play. But you've got Christian Watson, Jayden Reed, and Romeo Doubs as your receivers, and Luke Musgrave played Y. He played flex. He seems to be the number 1 tight end, which I'm kind of excited about that. So this first play, what we've got is 11 gun Trey Wright, okay? And the reason it's Trey is because there's a tight end on the line of scrimmage. He's attached, and there's he's one of 3 targets on that side of the field, all right? And the route concept is going to be what I would call a fade slot cross Y pro. Okay, let me explain what that means to you. I'm going to try to draw it up here. Hopefully it doesn't glitch out too bad. So with the fade, essentially all you've got is a fade route, right? You just got a deep, and typically on a fade, they'll kind of bend that thing out to the sideline. They want to clear out the middle of the field, all right? You've got a T swing, right, who's going to swing out here. And then you've got a slot cross, which that concept is typically a slant or a climb coming across the field, right? And then the other aspect of slot cross is going to be this dig on the backside of it, okay? So again, that's 11 gun, tray right, fade, slot cross, Y pro, T swing. All right. Now, what's the Y pro? The Y pro simply means this. This is Luke Musgrave right here playing the Y. Okay. So with him playing the Y, it's pass pro. He's simply just going to drop back and pass block. Okay. And it's a good thing he does, because you're going to notice right here, this Sam backer is going to blitz. Okay. So just keep that in mind. That's what the Y Pro means. Let's go ahead and clear it off. We're going to roll it at 50%. Hopefully it doesn't glitch out too bad. If it does, just bear with me, because like I said, we've got new equipment coming. We're going to fix this problem one way or another. Here we go. So as we roll it forward, you'll see Jordan, he kind of stares in the middle of the field, and then he comes right back to the 9 fade. Okay. As he comes back to the 9 fade, of course, that's Christian Watson. Now, you guys know the safety broke that play up. We've talked about it over and over and over, right? Could he have put a little more on it? Yeah, he could have, right? Could Christian have played the ball a little bit better? Probably could have. But I like this throw. I just wish he would have put a little less air under it and started to throw a little early, okay? Now, this is what I want you guys to key in on, though. This is what got me excited about this play. Some of you guys are going, why are you showing an incomplete pass? That's all that was. There's a little more to it. I want you to key in on the Y Pro we talked about. This is Luke Musgrave. Now, listen, I'm not going to sit here and pretend like Luke Musgrave had an awesome game. He didn't, but he did some things good, okay? And one of the things I wouldn't have expected him to do good is pass blocking. And check him out right here. I mean, he really holds up against this Sam. I'm pretty sure it's a Sam. I don't think it's a big nickel. I'm pretty sure it's a Sam. It may be a big nickel. It may be a safety. But nonetheless, look how he literally collapses the guy. Look at that. Awesome rep there by Luke Musgrave. And again, it was an incomplete pass, but Luke Musgrave did his job. And that's one of the things we were concerned about, was his blocking ability. You know, I'm not as much concerned about pass blocking, because you're not going to see that as often. It's obvious they checked. They wanted to have the swing underneath the 9 fade and then the slot cross work in the middle of the field. As soon as they seen middle of the field closed, he went up top of Christian Watson. But having that Y in pass pro makes all the difference in the world, and him being able to step up in the pocket and make that play. So, or at least make that throw. First quarter, 13 minutes left. This is a 3rd and 7 play. What we got here is a 10 gun, trips right, T left. It's going to be a fade, Y cross wrap, T leak. Okay. And what does 10 gun mean? It means 1 running back, 0 tight ends. So what you've got here is a 4 wide receiver set, trips right, meaning there's 3 wide receivers to the right side of the field. And then you got T left, which means the T is the halfback. He's going to be, it's short for tailback. That's just 1 letter, 1 syllable when calling out the play. He's going to be in the sidecar on the left side. And he really isn't even next to Jordan Love. It being a 3rd and 7, there's no threat to run here. So he just wants to kind of get up in here and help with a little pass pro before he drops out into his route. So let's look at what this means here, okay? First of all, you got your fade route, right? You've got Y slot cross. What does that mean? And then you've got Y cross wrap. Okay. Here's your Y. All right. Your Y is going to come across. Okay. Your wrap concept is going to be a sit. Okay. So they're just going to kind of curl it off, and then you're going to wrap around the backside. So essentially what you're trying to do is get the defense flown in one direction and find a window to throw it into. Now, you guys may have already caught on. This is actually 11 personnel. And the fact that they got the tight end stood up, I wanted to say 10 on purpose. I wanted to say 10 because how are defenses going to look at this? Are they going to look at Luke Musgrave and say, no, he's a tight end? Or are they go, no, that's a big wide receiver. That dude is fast, right? If that's the case, that's going to trigger different defensive looks, especially in the secondary. Okay. So what I mean by that is, if they refer to it as, hey, look, we're treating 88 as a wide receiver. So anytime you see 88, might as well count it as 10, unless, of course, Tucker Kraft is in the lineup, or at the time would have been Tyler Davis. We know he had a horrible injury. Hopefully everything works out as smooth as possible, but it's not looking good. So on this play here particularly, let's say that they treated it like a 10 gun. That means they're set up probably in a dime package or in a little bit thinner nickel, right? But nonetheless, this is going to be a Y cross here. This is the play that Jordan Love misses. Now, Dan Orlovsky did an excellent job talking about how Jordan Love focused his eyes in this direction to try to hold the backer, and he didn't turn his body to make the throw. So it was a mechanical issue. It wasn't a mechanical issue from the sense of hey, he just he doesn't mechanically know how to throw a football. He was trying to keep his shoulders closed to hold the backer, and he really just kind of oversold it. To be honest with you, I think he was showing off a little bit, and I'm okay with it because if there's one thing I've been impressed with Jordan Love so far early in this camp, from the camp footage we've seen and then the first preseason game, is he loves to manipulate those safeties with his eyes, and that's a very, very good thing. Okay, so again, let's play it. You're going to see the Y cross. All right. And the thing I want to point out with Musgrave here is he's open, gang. He is open, right? That play worked. It worked to freaking perfection. Let's watch it again. Y cross, you see him. He keeps his shoulders closed, holds the backer, and then tries to come over across his body, and he just overthrows him. If he doesn't overthrow him there, Luke Musgrave has a huge play. I mean, he is going to be running for freaking days. That dude, he's got one guy to beat there. He makes that guy miss, it's over. Everybody else's back's turned, right? So I thought we would kind of show that just to show what Luke Musgrave looked like in his route. Very quick. I mean, when you overthrow Luke Musgrave, though, boys, you're overthrowing big time, okay? So, again, Dan Orlovsky did a great job breaking down exactly what was wrong there with his mechanics, and I'm glad he did. All right, let's go to the first quarter. 11-11 left in the first. First and 10 play, still 0-0. And what we're going to get right here is an 11-gun doubles. We're going to get fly jet touch. Okay, what does that mean, fly jet touch? I call it fly jet touch, and there may be a number of people that break down tape that will call it something different. You know, one thing that it's hard to determine in this Matt LaFleur offense, you hear reporters ask him all the time about the slot, and he always corrects them and says, well, we don't necessarily have a slot receiver. We have, you've got to be able to play every position. What does that mean, right? Well, typically the slot lines up in between the Z receiver, right, or the X receiver, and the tackle. Okay, so he's kind of in that space in between the outside receiver and the tackle or the tight end. Okay, well, in this case right here, you would look at that, and traditionally you would think this is your slot receiver, right? But he's not, because the actual terminology, the definition for an X receiver is on the line of scrimmage, opposite the tight end. Okay, so this right here would be your X receiver. But again, he's lined up outside. So how would you call him slot, right? Obviously, over here is your Z. He's on the tight end side. Now, why do I point that out? There's a thing that you hear them talk about all the time with Matt LaFleur's offense, and they call them flyers, right? They call them flyer receivers. You've heard people write articles on them. No one truly knows all the details of what a flyer is other than Matt LaFleur and his staff, in my opinion. You hear him refer to the flyer as F sometimes. And in a lot of cases, F is referring to the pass-catching tight end in a 12 set, right? So in this case here, we're going to call it fly jet touch, all right? And the reason being is right here is your flyer, okay? And it's Jayden Reed. And I'm really excited to see Jayden Reed play this role this year. But again, 11 guns double. Why is it double? You've got a 2x2 set. It's actually a doubles off. But you're going to see this jet motion, and it's going to be a little touch pass, and it's going to be from the flyer. So basically, he's going to put Jayden Reed in motion, and he's going to do a little touch pass and try to hit Jayden Reed right here. Okay, so what I want you to key in on this time, we just showed you a couple of good reps from Luke Musgrave, right? We showed you the pass pro. Thought he held up well against the safety blitz. Could have been a Sam. Don't know the personnel well enough. We also showed you where he ran a great route and was literally wide open, butt naked, running through the trailer park, running that Y cross, right? Well, right here, you're going to see a bad rep, okay? And it's going to be in run block. So I want you to key in on him, okay? We're going to roll the tape. You're going to see the fly jet touch. Now, touch is just simply a touch pass. You're going to snap the ball to Jordan. He's going to toss the ball forward to Jayden Reed. It is technically a forward pass, but it's more of a handoff than a forward pass. 99% of the time it goes in the stat column as a pass. I've seen a couple occasions where it was considered a run, which is just silly. But here we go. Let's watch it roll here. So you're going to see the fly jet motion. Here's the touch pass, right? Here it comes. You got action everywhere. First of all, I want to point this out. This is cool. You've got action everywhere. You've got him going in this direction, right? You've got Dylan, I believe it is, going in this direction. So the defense has really got to stay at home here. Look at the hat count you have on the right side of the line. This guy, Jayden Reed, is going to be screaming out, right? And look at the hat count. You've got 1-on-1 there, right? You've got basically 2-on-1 here, and you've got Christian Watson on him. Jayden Reed just needs to hit the edge and make this guy miss, right? Well, you'll see. Watch our boy Luke Musgrave. This is hard to watch, but it's important. If you see it, you got to say it. This is one of the bad parts of his tape, okay? Let's watch it. Everything's setting up nice, and look, right here. Look. I mean, there is no fundamentals. He actually grabs the linebacker's arm to keep himself from falling backwards, right? He has no pad level, just horrible technique in blocking. But luckily, Jayden Reed, having the burst he has, he still turns it into a really good gain. Again, I want you to key in on Luke Musgrave. Let's watch it again. Watch Musgrave come off the line. He does a little fake, like a little hesitation, gets out, and then just completely loses the point of attack. You know, something that Mike Wall talks about all the time is how you arrive at confrontation determines how you handle confrontation. Okay? It dictates how you handle confrontation. Look how he arrives at confrontation on this play. He being Luke Musgrave. There is nothing aggressive about his technique there. He's patty caking, chopping it down, sliding, grabbing an arm, and then he ends up almost hitting Jayden Reed as well. Again, not the end of the world, but just wanted to point it out. That was definitely a negative rep there. Run blocking for Luke Musgrave. All right, let's move on to the next play. First quarter, 10:39 left. This is a 2nd and 4 play. I think this is the very next play, okay? So keep in mind, we just showed the same exact formation out of shotgun, okay? This is the same exact look we just seen the play before. It's just it was in shotgun. Now we're in ace, okay? And look what we have here. You probably already spot it, right? You've got Jayden Reed again on jet motion. So this is 11 ace, doubles off. It's going to be jet right, play action, Y screen, okay? So what you're going to do is you're going to have Jayden coming across on the jet motion. You're going to play fake to A.J. Dillon, and Luke Musgrave is going to pass block, and then he's going to drop off in a screen. And you're going to notice some of these big hog mollies get out here on the sidewalk and try to throw a block, okay? That's what you're going to end up seeing here. Let's watch it play now. What I want you to key in on, though, is look at the pass rusher, how well he plays this screen pass. He picks it up right here, and he knows I got to get my hands up. Now, Jordan's trying to make a decision. Do I go over the top or do I go around the side, right? And I think he makes the right decision. It's just a heck of a play by the defense, right? And you see the ball gets tipped. He tries a little sidearm pass. I wanted to point that out because this is a play schemed up to Luke Musgrave, and I want you to look out here. Hat on a hat. And there, and like I think it was Dan Orlovsky broke it down. You can see the other receivers in the all-22. I don't have access to it right now. They're going down the field, and the corners have their backs turned. If Runyon cleans this guy up, right, and Myers cleans this guy up, and Musgrave catches that, you're about to see that 21-mile-an-hour down the sideline. Beautiful play call. It's just another example of how they're scheming things up for Luke Musgrave in this offense. I thought it was important to show that. Okay, so left a big one on the field, but again, just a great play by the defense. I don't blame Jordan Love. I don't know what else he could have done. You know, maybe threw a pump fake, but that's not how screens are designed. They're not out there saying, hey, guys, listen, if they get their hands up, throw a little pump fake, hold on to the ball. No, you get rid of that thing. If it ain't there, it ain't there. If you didn't trick them with the play action and then the screen release, then we can't bank on you tricking them with a pump fake, right? Not on a screen pass. It's just a broken play. All right, let's move ahead. First quarter, 10:32 left, 3rd and 5 now, okay? 3rd and 5. We got an 11 guns trip, shift to doubles, and it's going to be Ohio, stick, T-leak. Okay, what does that mean? First of all, let's show you the motion, okay? With the motion, you've got our boy Christian Watson, okay? He's coming over and he's going to motion right here, all right? We'll pick that up here in a second. So that's 11 guns trips. You got trips left, right? And then you're shifting to doubles, 2x2, all right? You got Musgrave up here on the line of scrimmage. So he's going to shift over, and they're going to run what we call a stick concept, okay, which is basically Musgrave is going to run a sit, and Watson is going to kind of shift over. He's going to come somewhat to a stop. He's going to go out here and run like a sticks out route, okay? So he's running to the sticks. They're just looking to pick up this first down, right? On this side, you've got Ohio. What's Ohio? That concept is a 9 route with an out route underneath, all right? And then, of course, you got the T leak. He's looking for somebody to block. If he doesn't have anybody, he's just going to kind of leak out here and be a safety valve. All right. So as we roll the tape, you're going to see Christian Watson, right? There's the shift. So he's going to shift over. He's going to come somewhat set. The ball snapped. Now you're going to see on that side the stick concept. You're going to see the curl, and you're going to see that out route. Let's clear it off. And what I want you to notice here, let me do this real quick. I want you to, let me back it up just a touch. I want you to see what the defense does here. Look at this backer right here, okay? This backer right here is pointing to this corner and telling him something, right? That motion has already caused confusion. Now the safety catches it. You can see him signaling back too. So as we play it forward, watch those three players. Okay, you see the backer communicated with him, the corner communicated with the safety. What he's saying is, first of all, this is zone match defense. So what they're saying is, remember what Coach Haddad said, zone match triggers a decision. If, then. If, then. If they do this, then I do that. So they're already on their heels right here, okay? And basically what they're saying is this corner's saying, I'm covering deep, right? This backer and all these other backers are going to kind of cover do a little rack coverage underneath because it's a 3rd and 5. They're kind of playing the sticks over across the middle, especially against a trips look, although it did motion out. So this safety has to hammer down, and he's playing zone match probably on the number 2, and if once the number 2 crosses him, then he covers the flat. But that's just enough hesitation. Again, what I want you to key in on, gang, watch this safety right here. Watch him, how he comes. He'll come in and he'll come flat-footed. Okay, I'm going to play it forward. Look for the out route right here. He's beat. He's already beat. In that zone match, look how he's flat-footed, right? He's not sprinting to the out. And I'm wondering if this whole stick route combination right here with Christian Watson might have been an option route. Remember Matt LaFleur talking about that. That's what's going to determine how much the young guys play. The young guys being Jayden Reed, Luke Musgrave, all these guys. Are they going to have choice routes within this system that they're going to be running? We ran a ton of choice routes last year. They run a ton of choice routes in Kansas City. It's one aspect of the offensive game that I think a lot of people don't truly pay attention to, but it's a big part of the NFL right now. So I think what Christian Watson's doing here is he's kind of reading it and says, all right, let's just take this out. Jordan sees the same exact thing, right? He's seen this safety hammer down, so he's looking at Christian and going, as soon as before he even makes his break, I'm going to put that ball, he's going to put that ball right out here on the sideline, right, where only Christian can get to it and get the first down, all right? So let's roll it forward. You see the safety's flat-footed. He's beat. Look at the timing, gang. This is what gives me hope in Jordan Love. Look at Jordan Love's timing. The ball is out before Christian Watson makes his break. And this guy over here, he doesn't know whether to crap or go blind, so he closes one eye and farts. That dude, like he did nothing. He covered no one, right? And knowing he's got help here, he should have hammered down. But for whatever reason, I don't know what the rules are. Maybe there was still a little miscommunication, although they did pick up the motion. But look at where Jordan Love puts this ball, man. Great hands catch by Christian Watson, picks up the first down. Great read and recognition by Jordan Love. Great route by Christian Watson. Everything was perfect. Absolutely perfect. So thought that was a really, really positive thing. Let's move on to the next play. Let's go 11 gun spread, Y flex shift. We're going Y sift duo. All right. You guys have heard me and Jacob on the Packers Total Access Live podcast. We're always joking about sift blocks, right? There's a ton of sift blocks in here. Some people call it split zone. I've always heard it referred to as a sift block. But what we got here is Y sift duo. First of all, let's go back to the 11 gun spread, Y flex shift. Okay, 11 gun spread simply means you got a 2x2 set. Okay, probably isn't even really a spread because it's more of a top formation. I refer to it as spread when you've got guys kind of evenly distributed. Now they're stacked here, but you could tell it's kind of the same looking stack, although they're opposite. They're flipped on the upper side of the screen. Now, with the Y flex shift, what I wanted to point out was right here with Luke Musgrave, I couldn't get the tape back far enough, but he was actually started in the same look as this over here. So he started somewhere in this spot right here, and then he shifts over to the inside. Just that subtle movement gives Jordan Love information. Look where Jordan Love's eyes are, right? His eyes are downfield watching the safety kind of react to that little bit of shift, that little bit of motion from Luke Musgrave. But what the safety doesn't understand is this is actually, I think it's a duo play. It could be zone. It could be mid-zone. I personally think it's duo. I'm going to explain why here in a second. So this sift block that you're going to see, Basically on a sift, this tackle, the tight end is going to come across the formation to throw a block, okay? That's called a sift block. He's going to come across on a running play. On play action, they're even called play action sifts as well. But what this is designed to do is the left tackle is going to let this defender come free. So he's going to be able to help seal this off so these guys can begin to double team and get down the field, because on duo, it is downhill vertical power, okay? What do I mean by vertical power? If it was a normal power play, one of these guards would pull over a lane and lead the block, right? That's not happening here. What I mean by vertical power is they're going to double team to the point of attack, and then he's going to break off his double team, right? As just like a power run play would work, and they would come off and block a defender at the second level, okay? So that's why I believe it's duo. Some others may watch this play and say, I think it's mid zone. I think it's inside zone. Totally cool. We can agree to disagree. The waters are very, very muddy when it comes to duo. I did an episode on that. You can go back and check it out if you like. It was actually a lot of fun trying to dissect and dive into that. But it's just nice knowing I'm not the only person that struggles with that. So with that being said, we're going to get this sift block, right? And these guys are going to get out here and try to double team, and they're going to try to seal this off. Now, this is a bad rep for Myers. I mean, a bad rep for Myers. But I want you to key in on, again, Luke Musgrave. He's had good reps. He's had bad reps already, right? But watch him throw this sift block. I thought he did really well. Let's bring him across. Here's the snap. Watch the sift. You see him break over. Bang. That's good pad level. That's good timing. He does a good job sealing that inside off. Now, here's the problem that we have here is the only person that really gets a negative on this play for me is Josh Myers. You see Josh Myers, the whole point of duo is to get to this next level and be able to knock out that linebacker, right? And you're going to notice here as we roll it forward, he completely whiffs. Like, that's pathetic. I mean, he had mistakes in this game, guys. He had botched snaps. What I mean botched snaps, we should have had a free play, but he didn't snap the ball. Another time we had a false start. Literally, the Bengals staff was laughing. And they said, pretty much everybody moved but the center, right? What's that tell you? If everybody else is moving in unison and the guy with the ball isn't, that means he screwed something up. And I don't mean to pile on Josh Myers. I want him to pan out. I love his build. I love his athleticism. I love everything about his game. Guys, he's just underperforming. And there's no two ways about that. I want to take it back and show you something else, though, that was exciting. The Luke Musgrave block was awesome. This is what's going to make this running game go this season, though. I want you to key in on Christian Watson, okay? Christian Watson is right here. I want you to watch him get up here and try to throw this block inside, and he is the reason, not Josh Myers, not all these big hog mollies. He's the reason that A.J. Dillon is able to squeeze through the gap and actually get out here and turn this into a decent gain. Watch Christian Watson on this play. See him kick in, and bang, right there. Look at that. Beautiful technique. That's what made that play go. So a great rep from Luke Musgrave on run blocking. A great rep from Christian Watson on run blocking. Bad rep for Josh Myers. Let's go forward just a little bit. First quarter, 9-10 left, 2nd and 4 plays, still 0-0. And here it is. Here's the hard count, right? I want you to watch everybody on this right side here, okay? First of all, watch, I think it's this guy. Maybe this guy jumped too, but I think it's that guy right there, okay? It's the edge defender in that 9 tech. Watch him. Could be a 7. Yeah, more of a 7 than a 9. Yeah, that's a 7. All right, I want you to watch him. Watch when he moves and look at the ball. That ball's got to come out right now. Like, that's not Jordan saying, okay, snap the ball now, right? It's the center's job to have that peripheral vision. And when he knows Jordan's trying to get him with the hard count, which we've seen already, guys. We've seen it. We've heard about it in camp. We've seen it in joint practice. We have now seen it in a preseason game. Jordan Love has learned the tricks of the trade from Aaron Rodgers on this hard count. But it don't mean make a hill of beans if this center right here doesn't snap the ball when he was supposed to. He's got to have the peripheral. And when he sees this guy break into the neutral zone, snap the ball. Now, some of you guys are going, Clayton, it's a 2nd and 4, automatic first down anyway, no big deal. Let me tell you why it's a big deal. If he snaps the ball right now while he's in the neutral zone and they don't call unevaded the quarterback, what you've got here is a free play. Now, see, some people were going, some people would see that too and probably think, well, the right side of the line shouldn't have jumped. They could have still caught him. No, once they break into the neutral zone, everyone go. They all know that, other than the center, evidently. Because if that ball gets snapped, as soon as that guy breaks into the neutral zone, think about this. What you're going to see here, you've still got the first down in your pocket. You still got the 5-yard penalty in your pocket, right? But what you're missing out on is if that ball gets snapped, and you see Jordan's wanting it bad, right? Look at him. He's still in the stands. Then he goes deep. Oh, got it clear off here. He's going to go deep. He's going to go deep. Christian Watson's going to go deep. You may even have one of these guys try to leak out, but it's going to be run to the back of the end zone and let me throw one up here. It's a free play. We've seen Aaron Rodgers cash in on that so many times in the past. But again, if that center doesn't snap the ball, it's just a missed opportunity. These are the things that we're talking about with Josh Myers. It's all the things that Brian Bulaga has been talking about here lately of what he's seen wrong with Josh Myers. Corey Linsley hardly ever made those mistakes. And he said, I'm not going to sit here and pretend like Corey never made mistakes, but it was very rare Corey made mistakes. When I see the tape on Josh Myers, and Josh Myers even admitted it this offseason to, I think it was Jason Wilde and some of the reporters. He actually told him, yeah, it's going to be different not having Aaron back there, because there was many times that I called out the protection for the offensive line and Aaron recognized it was the wrong protection and changed it for me. I'm not saying Jordan Love can't do that, but I'm going to tell you right now, man, it doesn't look good when this guy right here can't snap the ball when you got someone jumping into the neutral zone. So just wanted to point that out. It was a rough day for Josh Myers preseason week 1. So missed opportunity there. Let's move on to the next play now. And let's see what we got here. All right, this is fun. So this is going to be a 12 ace. Well, first of all, it's still the first quarter, 8:48 left, 1st and 10. All right, still 0-0. We've got a 12 ace, strong left, play action boot, fade climb, YF leak. Okay, let me explain what all that means. On this play, you're going to have a play action boot. They're going to play action, and Jordan's going to scramble to this side. Okay, a boot is when you play action roll out opposite of the run side. So you're rolling out to the back side. Okay. What you got here is, I think that's Christian Watson is going to run a fade, okay? Down up here, you've got a climb route. Some people call this drift, and there's different variations of drift. I've also heard this referred to as strike. I wanted, when I first started doing Chalk Talk, I wanted to use the number system, the numerical system, and just call out each route by their number route or their name, right? Because everybody likes to put their little spin on it. Everybody likes to use their own little code language, and the numbers don't lie, right? No pun intended. Like a number route is a number route. A climb is a climb, right? A crosser is a crosser. An out is an out. All those things. A hitch, a curl, everything. They're not flexible within the English language, if that makes sense, right? But when people start calling this, okay, well, that's a strike. Okay, this is a drift, and they don't give clarity on what makes it, what differentiates between the other route concepts, the other, route combinations. I just think that's kind of silly, right? It's just causing confusion. I think a lot of people just want to sound smarter than they actually are. So, again, a 9 fade, you're going to have the climb come across the field here. And then we got the boot action to that side. And then you've got a YF leak. So your Y tight end is right here. He's going to leak out. Your F is going to pass block, and then he's going to leak out, right? And he's going to hit Romeo Doubs on the pass here. But remember all the drills we've watched all camp long, gang, where Jordan Love takes the snap, faces the camera, whoever's filming on the sideline at training camp, does the, chops his feet over the barriers, right? They got the orange cushions on the ground. He chops over them and then throws across his body while rolling left. This is the play they're working on. This is the mechanics they're working on. And you've seen Jordan Love hit that net intermediately time and time again, right? So this is going to be one of the staples. The other night we were asked, I can't remember who asked it on Packers Total Access Live, but they asked me, what do you think will be the play that's kind of the staple play? They talked about the staple play in Lombardi's offense was the Packers power sweep, right? what would be the one in this Matt LaFleur offense? And I said boot, play action boot, man. That's the one, play action boot, drift, these type of concepts. And here you're going to see it. So let's play the tape, and you're going to see Romeo Doubs come over into the picture. There's the play action boot, right? I'm going to clear it. Now you're going to see the couple leaks underneath. Romeo Doubs is in that intermediate. And again, remember that throw, guys? Remember that throw in practice? I want you to imagine him at this point right here running over those orange cushions. Chop, 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 chop. Square up. Let that thing fly. Net ball. Look at the defenders. I mean, he throws that in between, 3 defenders, right? And what's crazy is if you take the tape back, he actually had people underneath too. He's got a multitude of options here. I mean, look right here. You got a guy here, right? This guy's about to come open into a window, right? With the 2 leaks. Beautiful throw by Jordan Love. I mean, it is right on the money. Great catch by Dobbs. Great job possessing it, getting on the ground. Move the chains again. Now you got a 1st and goal from like the 9-yard line. I thought that was a lot of fun. All right, let's move on to the next play. First quarter, 32 seconds left. If you notice, you've got Sean Clifford in at quarterback now, okay? And this play here is going to be 11 guns double, Y boundary. Some of you guys already caught that and you got excited. 11 gun doubles, Y boundary, Ohio slot cross, T leak, okay? Let's explain what all that means. First of all, what does Y boundary mean? Well, we know the Y is the tight end, right? He is on the boundary. What is the boundary? Some people don't know what the boundary. When you hear me say boundary X, when you hear me say boundary in anything with chalk talk, when you're on the short side of the field, it's the defender closest to the sideline on the short side of the field. So the boundary is the short side of the field. Notice how the ball is on the left hash mark. If it was on the right hash mark, then this side would be boundary. Okay, so that's what we mean by boundary. So when I say Y boundary, look who it is. We got Luke Musgrave flexed out to the boundary. Okay, and they're going to run an Ohio route or an Ohio concept over here. Okay, let me explain what that is. An Ohio concept is, let's see, I'm going to play it forward here for you real quick. Again, with Ohio deep, then you got an out. Okay, and in some of these, what I've noticed in some of these Ohios is this guy goes deep, this guy goes out, and if it's not there, he'll go ahead and wheel it off underneath. So he's kind of turning it into a double move, almost like a choice route, right? But that's the Ohio concept. Your 9 route with an out underneath. Up top, you got your slot cross again. It's a staple in this offense. Slot cross is going to be Jayden Reed running your crosser or your climb. And then, of course, you got the backside dig. And right here, you're going to have your T leak. Okay, let's roll it forward. You guys know what play this is. I want you to really, really key in on our boy up here, Mr. Jayden Reed. All right, watch him on this play. Gets into that route quick. He beats his guy right off the line. It's man coverage. He knows it's man. A little bit of hesitation from Sean Clifford. Guys, look at that. Look at that jump. Look at that jump ball. That is what you call mossing somebody. Look how high he is off the ground. Little Jayden Reed. Heck of a grab on 3rd down too, guys. 3rd and 4. Here's a better angle right here. I want you to focus on his hands, okay? It almost looked like a one-handed grab to me. Really exciting. Watch right here as we're rolling it in slow motion. Look at this grab. Look at that. I'm telling you, man, I didn't see this with Romeo Doubs. I didn't see this with Christian Watson. Both had solid rookie years. Christian Watson had a great rookie year. I would say Romeo Doubs had a good rookie year, right? Romeo Doubs graded out in somewhere around the number 3 wide receiver range across the NFL. Okay, basically meaning he was in that range of, being that 3rd option according to PFF. I don't remember seeing this stuff in the preseason. Romeo Doubs had a heck of a camp last year. I remember it. But Romeo Doubs also had drop issues. Look at Jayden Reed. This dude, I think we got us one, man. I do. I think we may have us one in Luke Musgrave too. But I think Jayden Reed is going to be ready week 1. I think it's going to be so hard to keep him out of the lineup. Jayden Reed, I think, will be Cooper Kupp in this offense. Not saying he's going to play at Cooper Kupp's level, but what I mean by that is I think he's going to be the reason that Matt LaFleur won't be able to get away from 11 personnel because he loves his top 3 receivers too much. Christian Watson, Romeo Doubs, and now Jayden Reed. Because think about it. When you go to 12 personnel, what you're simply saying is you got to take one of those 3 guys off the field and you got to put Tucker Kraft in. And Tucker Kraft is as raw as they come. You can tell he's got a long way to go, right? But when you look at these receivers, it's like, okay, think back to the play callers, right? And on the play callers, what did they say? They said that Sean McVay came over there ready to run the turbo package, right? And they did run the turbo package that they brought from Atlanta, and they wanted to run 21 personnel with Todd Gurley primarily. He said, but I looked over on the bench and seen Cooper Kupp and thought, how the hell do I not have him on the field, right? I got to get my best 11 out there. That's why they shifted to 11 personnel and ended up winning the Super Bowl too, because you put your best 11 on the field. This whole personnel talk that we have, talking 21, talking 11, talking 12, it really comes down to Jayden Reed versus Luke Musgrave. Which one of those 2 guys are going to be more reliable? And that's going to determine, Jayden Reed or Tucker Kraft. That's going to determine whether we stay in 11 personnel or use more 12 or 21 personnel. And right now, I'm thinking Matt LaFleur's got to be sitting there going, we got to get Jayden Reed on the freaking field, right? That's kind of how I see that playing out. But that was just a phenomenal play by Jayden Reed. Decent pass there, too, by Sean Clifford. I'll tell you, Sean Clifford made some boneheaded plays in that game, but he also had some dimes. He shot that ball in there in the double coverage in the tight windows when he needed to. Throwing across his body to Samori Toure on the corner route was impressive, all that. All right, let's do this. Let's move on to the next play. And this one here this may be our last one. I can't remember if I got one more after this or not. We got a 10 gun empty, trips right, T left, okay? 10 gun empty, trips right, T left. What's that mean? You got one running back, okay? You got an empty set back here. There's nobody in the backfield. So you've got one running back, 0 tight ends, which means you've got 4 wide receivers, okay? So that's going to prompt their dime set typically, unless they want to play like a fast nickel. So 10 gun empty, trips right. You get your 3 receivers over here to the right side. You got your T left. And you could have said T wing left because he is playing wing right now. But the empty kind of suggests, okay, we know there's not a running back in the backfield, right? So that's how that sets up. Now, let's talk about the passing concept. On the upper side, you got a chip wrap, okay? What is that? This guy, the running back, is going to chip, block, and then he's going to come out here and run a little curl, okay? The wrap concept is when you run a curl with a dig on the back side of it, okay? That's the wrap concept. We ran a ton of that last year. That's something that Matt LaFleur really, really likes to run, okay? So he's going to chip block, curl with the dig on the back side. That makes it a chip wrap, okay? And then on this side, we got 2 vert snag. Let's start with the snag. Let's reverse engineer here. The snag concept is when the number 2 receiver goes deep and the number 1 receiver stays shallow with a shallow cross. Typically, it's a crosser is what it is. It's a shallow cross or a drag. Some people call it a drag. But you're going, Clayton, you said 2 vert, right? 2 vert snag, exactly. So you're going to have 2 vertical routes, one of which completes the snag concept, okay? And they're playing single high, right? So basically off screen over here, you've got a single high safety. So middle field closed right now, right? This is one of those plays where we're going to try to stare at the safety, hold him to the middle of the field, and then go to the 9 route, okay? They're playing press up here. Everybody's playing man coverage, right? So these underneath routes are going to be very difficult. They're showing a little bit of pressure here too, okay? So what you're going to look for is hold the safety to the center of the field, and then you're going to try to go up top to Jayden Reed, all right? That's the plan here. I want you to watch Jayden Reed right off the line. Again, I'm going to put a circle around him. I don't want you to take your eyes off of him. Remember what we always say, take your eyes off the ball, okay? Let's focus on this right here. Watch him off the line. All right, he's going to chop. Quick feet right there. Look, our boy right here, look at our boy Sean Clifford. He already knows, all right, he's even, so he's leaving. That's the old saying, right? If I'm even, I'm leaving. He's going to toss this thing up and try to give Jayden Reed a chance to make a catch. Jayden Reed beats his guy, but unfortunately, the defender is all over him, draped on him, right? And gets called for PI. Okay? So some people were going, well, he didn't catch it. He dropped it. No. He basically baited him to a pass interference call at the 1 yard line. So now it's first and goal from the 1. Look, you think he's happy? Look, he's a spark plug. I love Jayden Reed. He knows exactly how big that play was, exactly how big it was. Knowing that drawing that flag is basically going to set him up a first and goal from the 1 yard line. And again, it's all about speed. It's all about athleticism. If he's even, he's leaving. You've seen it right there. It's a good read too. Very good read by Sean Clifford. So, yeah, I'm excited, man. I don't know about you guys, but everything that I seen on Sunday, it was a lot of fun to watch. It was one of those things that it was bittersweet. I'm screaming on the first play, right? As I'm sure many of you were. I'm watching Jordan Love loaded up on the very first pass that I seen. There may have been a play or two in between. It was the first play we showed on here just a second ago. But I look up and I see him load up, and I literally screamed at the top of my lungs, "Load it up. Load it up." And Mandy's over here rolling her eyes at me as I said it, like, "You moron, it's preseason. It's the first play of Yeah, dude, I'm all about it. I want to see Jordan Love take those shots in preseason. I want to see him take chances. I want to see these receivers, these tight ends grow together. All that, man. It's I don't know, dude. I just love football. Love football. It's like I've said 1,000 times, it's got me by the soul. So, all right, I'm going to try to go back through the chat real quick. I know I missed a bunch of them here, but I'm just going to kind of say hi to everybody and get out of here. Just wanted to do a little bit of chalk talk, man. I got up this morning and started breaking down the tape and like, yep, let's add that one to the database. Let's add that one to the database. Hopefully that wasn't too choppy, guys. I'm hoping that was clean enough for you. But like I said, help is on the way. We got a whole new system. Should be here by Wednesday. It better work. If it don't, somebody owes me some money over there at Amazon because we went all out, man. We wanted to make sure we were providing the top level content for you guys. Okay, so let's go here. We got Zane in the chat, man. Appreciate you dropping through. Showers. I'd have been here if I had known. Best coverage on YouTube. I appreciate the kind words there. Yeah, I didn't schedule this one. It was just kind of last second thing. But I'm glad you dropped in there, Showers. Zane says, love your football knowledge. Keep up the great work. Hey, appreciate it, Zane, man. I love talking football, dude. And again, I'm not perfect. Please don't take me as a know-it-all. I'm just trying to have some fun and learn to gain a little bit different level. Eric in the chat, Showers again here. Let's see. I just want to make sure we mention everybody. Maine loves timing and arm talent is continuing to develop. Not a finished product, only getting better. I completely agree, Maine. Appreciate you dropping through, man. I think it's the first time I've seen you in here, dude. Appreciate you watching the channel. Redmo, I can already tell you he's already won the chat here, guys, as we get ready to wrap up. Snap that effing ball, Josh. Quote, a Hall of Fame quarterback. You can see it, man. And those are the things that Aaron might have covered up a little bit too, guys. And again, I'm not here to try to beat Jordan down. I'm not here to try to paint this doom and gloom picture. I just want to point out, if you see it, you got to say it. That's what Greg Cosell says all the time. If you see it, you got to say it. And what you're seeing, heck, even what you're hearing, Josh Myers keeps popping up on tape as struggling, and you've seen it on two different plays here. Luke Musgrave, I've seen inconsistency, but I still seen flash there. I seen a couple of good blocks, right? The SIF block was solid. The pass pro was solid. Didn't like his blocking on the jet sweep, obviously. Also seen him in his routes, very quick, very explosive. You see exactly what they liked about him. Jayden Reed, I think, is a dog. I'm almost convinced. Some of you guys are going, it's one preseason game, Clayton. What are you talking about? Trust me, there's something different, man. I'm telling you. You may not see it next week. You may not see it week 3. But early in this season, there's going to be times where we go, Jayden freaking Reed, dude, and get your number 11 jersey. I'm telling you, I think he's going to be solid. I'll see here, Eric in the chat, Bach, Jenkins, Tom, Runyon, Yash, our best 5. All right, Janelle, Packers' weakness, safety, kicker, and center. Oh, boy. Janelle, why you got to do it to me, huh? Why you got to do it to me? It's bad. Center is the tough one for me because I consider it a position of tier 2 importance. It's that, first tier on offense, left tackle, quarterback. Hands down, way more important than any other position. And I've got center like borderline about to creep into tier 1 because when you look at all the great teams, they have great centers. You look at Humphrey in Kansas City. He was their center, Super Bowl champs, right? You look at the team that played them in the Super Bowl, the Philadelphia Eagles. You had Kelsey playing center. Those are arguably the 2 best centers in the league. And it's just, Heck of a coincidence, I know, that they were playing against each other in the Super Bowl. Center is so important. Kicker, I'm not as worried as others right now, okay? I want to get through preseason and let's see what the stats actually look like. I trust Rich Bisaccia. But right now, though, Janelle, you have 100%. I completely understand why you're worried about kicker and everyone else who is. I think I'm one of the few that's like, let's give it just a little longer. Now, listen, if they sign Mason Crosby, I'm all about it. I'm cool with it. And I know there's people that are going, he don't have a leg anymore. I don't need people to hit 50-yard field goals, gang. I need people to hit those 40-yarders. I need people to hit those extra points, right? And when it comes time that, okay, we need a 50-yard field goal for a game winner, then you just make that decision. All right, let's see if the old man can pull out enough leg, right? That's one thing you have with Anders Carlson is you've got someone who can hit that 60-yarder, right? The question is, can he hit the 30-yarder? That's the problem. And I don't know, it's just a lot of points to leave out there on the field for sure. Eric in the chat says, I'm not into bringing in a lot of vets for this team, but I'd like to see them get an inline vet tied in with Davis's injury. Yeah, I got to agree. You guys heard me a couple weeks ago, heck, as early as last week, I was saying bring Big Dog in. And I know the consensus, and I understand that point of view too. Everyone was saying, you want to get these guys as many snaps as possible. For me, it wasn't about taking snaps away from Luke Musgrave. It was about having him as a safety valve and someone who could teach these tight ends the ins and outs of the game, right? What sucks now is you've got Big Dog going to Chicago and teaching Cole Kmet all the things he's learned. And you could sit here and kid yourself, not you, but other people who like to bash, Mercedes Lewis. But you could sit here and pretend like it can't be that. No, that dude is a coach on the field. It's obvious. I mean, just ask his teammates. Heck, ask his coaches. So I hope Goody's ego don't come back to bite him in the rear end by not signing Mercedes Lewis. I was sitting back going, man, he must be asking for like $4 or $5 million, and rightfully so, man. Look, you can go sell off into the sunset and retire and be done with your football career and not have to take one more concussion. If I'm going to come out of retirement or I'm going to come off the couch to play football, man, make it worth my while. When I find out they signed him for less than $3 million, I'm going, why did we not do that? Because it's not about Mercedes Lewis versus Luke Musgrave. It's not about Mercedes Lewis versus Tucker Kraft. It's not about Mercedes Lewis versus Tyler Davis, right? It's Mercedes Lewis versus that fourth tight end, in my opinion. And now we don't really have anyone behind Tucker Kraft when you think about it. I'm eager to see if Josiah DeGuara is going to play a little more in line, but you got to keep this in mind too, gang. What we just talked about on that film study, if Jayden Reed is as good as I think he is, and he solidifies that, what you're going to see is more 11 personnel than 12. And if that's the case, losing a tight end isn't as big of a deal, right? Unless, of course, Luke Musgrave goes down, and we don't even want to. I can't even believe I mentioned that. So, anyway, I'm with you though, Eric. I think Big Dog would have been the right choice, but hindsight's 2020, right? Red Mo said should trade for the stud blocking tight end that just signed with Chicago. What's his name? Lewis. There it is. Oh, wait. Still hurts a little. I'm with you, Red Mo, for sure. Let's see here. Janelle, 11 personnel with Watson, Dobbs, Reed, Musgrave, and Jones. So much speed and ability. Completely agree. Janelle, I feel like Tom Cruise in Top Gun. I feel the need for speed. I love it. I could hear him say it. Let's see here. Or Showers. I think Clifford's ball placement in that game was impeccable. He threw guys into yak and away from incoming trouble. I think Love is not nearly as precise. Can that be fixed? I think Love, what you're going to find out is Love is as precise or more precise. I think what you're going to see the more time that Sean Clifford plays is you're going to see a little more inconsistency from him. Although, man, I got to agree, that was a hell of a performance, Showers. I mean, that dude, and again, it's against 3s and 4s, right? We've always got to add that caveat. But, man, he played well. Played fun. Like, Jacob was talking about it offline with me. He literally, I got a text this morning. I don't know what time he texted me on a Sunday morning, which is fine. I'm one of those guys. My phone's on mute. You can do whatever. And I could sleep through a train wreck. But I woke up to a text, and he's just talking about how exciting it was watching Clifford. He must have been going back and watching highlights. Clifford was fun, man. He was a lot of fun to watch for sure. Let's see here. Tua, I guess is how you say that. Let me go back. I'm sorry. Maine said this defense is going to create a ton of extra opportunities for Love in the offense. I believe that too. I think that we've got a chance to actually flip the turnover differential. It's something we kind of struggled with last year, and I think that will play a big role in Love's success for sure. Tua in the chat. I hope I'm saying that right. It starts with a T. It's got an H in it, but I'm just going to say Tua. Looking forward to an exciting year of play breakdown from you. Thanks. Hey, man, I appreciate it. I'm looking forward to talking ball with you guys, man. I love the chat. Love to get in here and chop it up with you guys. And I always end up learning from other Packer fans, man. And there's been people already in the chat that's come up with ideas and they've corrected us too. Don't think we're on here talking ball like we're these professionals and we're never wrong. I don't ever want to come across like that. We're all learning. We're learning together for sure. Craig said Clifford impressed me. Myers needs a position change. I would love to see Myers at guard. I would. If you asked me that last year, I'd go, shut up. I ain't worried. I'm there now, guys. I want to see it. I want to see it. Craig, Runyon center, Myers guard. I don't like Runyon at center. Although if he could snap the ball, that's the big thing, right? I see what you're saying, man. I know Runyon got some snaps the other night at center. Let's see how it plays out. Maybe that's something we look for on Saturday, right, against the Patriots. See if Runyon's taking snaps at center. It'll start with the practice schedule too. The joint practices, which I think the schedule released today. When we come back, we're going to come back live at 7:00, 6 Central, 7 Eastern tonight for Packers Total Access Live. We'll have that information for you, give you an update on what the times and dates are for those joint practices. Let's see here. Adam said, yeah, they are, dude. They're dedicated to the youth movement for sure. Smitty, why would you say that, Clayton? JK, we'll have to rewatch this as I just got freed up to listen. Hey, man, that's the beautiful thing about YouTube, too. If you don't catch it live, just go back and watch it, man. That's what I do with all my favorite podcasts. So definitely. Zane says, I need more out of Hercules. Yeah, Zane, he had a rough night, man. But at the same time, I seen 2 or 3 plays that were good. One he got held on that I think he could have got a sack. Again, flags, even the refs are in preseason form right now, and you can't base your success or failures off of flags, that's for sure. But I agree with you. I think he was underwhelming in that first game. Let's see what he does next time for sure. So, see, Cheesehead Murph says, love to see so much capable depth at wide receiver. It feels different, man. It feels like these guys are playing free, and maybe that is that they're not playing, stress-filled, knowing that they got a Hall of Fame quarterback they're expecting, so much out of him. I'm not saying that in a derogatory way towards Aaron Rodgers. I'm just saying, it's easier to ace the exam when the sub's in the class. You know what I mean? The only problem is that sub going to be as effective as a teacher, or in this case, as a quarterback, as Aaron Rodgers was. And if Jordan Love can be 80% of what Rodgers was, and that's still asking a lot, I think this team's set up to succeed. I really do. All right, last one, guys. We're going to get out of here. Adam says, LVN is doing a crash course in multiple positions and is practicing certain things right now. He'll rely more on natural stuff when the season starts. Yeah, it's like Michael Lombardi says, Adam, preseason, that's the time to make mistakes. The preseason is the time to try things out and stretch your limitations. That's why I don't stress out over interceptions in training camp, because that's the time that you want to see if you can hit that bunker or that base. You want to see if you can fit those balls into those tight windows. You want to see if the timing is just right, that you can go back shoulder in a specific situation. All those things matter, right? So, all right, guys, we're going to get out of here. Like I said, I'm going to be back at 6 Central, 7 Eastern for Packers Total Access Live. Can't thank you guys enough for hopping in here, man. We had 80 on the stream live here, which is a new record for shows outside of the post-game show. The post-game show the other night, I think we had 116 live. You guys always show up. You bring the thunder. We appreciate your time, man. It's Sunday afternoon. You could be anywhere in the world doing anything you want, and you're choosing to hang out with us and talk ball, man. We don't take it lightly. So we're out of here, guys. For those of you listening on the pod, thank you for making us a part of your day. As always, let's go out and be the change we want to see in the world. And go, Pack, go.
The power sweep actually is the lead play in our offense.
Tell the tackle to take the defensive end if he's over him. If he's not, to drive down on the first man who is inside. Fullback, we tell him to take the first man outside the offensive tackle.
No one shows. He goes right by them and steals inside.
If the YN has the linebacker taken out, he cuts inside. If the YN has the linebacker in, he comes all the way around. If you look at this play, what we're trying to get is a seal here and a seal here, and try to run this play in the alley.